the Buffalo Bills, specifically Josh Allen, they have a decision to make. Josh Allen, as we know, has played 3 years in the NFL. He is now entering year number 4 of his deal with the Bills. Why is that significant? Well, if history is any indication how things should go, a lot of times quarterback extensions, big quarterback extensions, come after year 3, heading into year 4. Patrick Mahomes, big deal after year 3. Deshaun Watson, Jared Goff, Carson Wentz. All those quarterbacks receive contract extensions heading into year number 4 of their career. So now the Bills, with Josh Allen in that time period, they have a decision to make. Should they extend him now? Go off 2020, think that that's going to be the norm going forward, pay Josh Allen the big money before Lamar Jackson gets paid by the Ravens, before Baker Mayfield gets paid by the Browns? Because in theory, the quarterback contracts only increase. So would they be wise to do it now and get a cheaper price, if you will? Or should they wait? Should they ensure success first before giving Josh Allen $40+ million a year? Well, I'll tell you what I think, but also, how about we hear from a decision maker, Brandon Beane, Bills general manager. He spoke earlier this week, and he was asked about basically, what's the status of a Josh Allen contract? Are they close or not? Here's what he had to say on the latest update of Josh Allen and the contract extension.
We would love to get Josh extended, no doubt, but it's got to be a number that works for him and works for us, and that's been my conversation with them, and they know the same, and we're all on the same page. Josh wants to be here, which that's the first thing. Does the player want to be here? Josh wants to be here. That gives me hope that we'll get something done. You can't force it. It happens when it's supposed to happen, and if it happens, this year, great. If it doesn't, I'll be very positive that we'll get it done next year.
So there you go. You hear Brandon Beane basically saying, hey, we want Josh Allen here. Josh Allen wants to be here, but 2 things. One, it has to be on the right price for us, right? We're not going to just be giving him a blank check and saying, here, sign for whatever you want. But he also said, and this is what resonated with me the most, if we can't get something done next year, or I'm sorry, if we can't get something done this year, he is confident they will get something done next year. To me, that's what the Bills should be doing. They should be thinking about and giving Josh Allen a contract extension next year. Wait 1 more year. Make sure that he can replicate the 2020 success he's had, and then fork over the big bucks. So I'll be honest, if I'm a team right now, the thing I'm scared to death about is giving the wrong guy a big deal. A big money deal and then getting burned by it 2 years, 3 years, 4 years from now, where you have a ton of dead money on your cap because the quarterback that you paid that you thought was your guy going forward really proved that in the end he couldn't get it done. Because with Josh Allen, look, he had a tremendous 2020 season. I'm not saying that. I'm a Josh Allen doubter, if you will. Easy for me to say 2020 was incredible, very unexpected for me personally. I give Josh Allen a lot of credit. He played way better than I could have ever expected. He was incredible. But here's the question. Here's the question you have to ask yourself when it comes to giving a quarterback $40+ million a year. Can he do it again? Are you sure he can do it again? Are you confident that he can replicate 2020? It wasn't a flash in the pan. It wasn't a benefit of just everything going right. Are you sure he can do 2020, put up that production, put up those touchdowns and those passing yards and that success? Can he do it in 2021 and 2022 and 2025 and 2027? To me right now, I'm not sold that that's a guaranteed yes. So for me, I think the Bills would be wise to wait. Be wise to wait and make sure he can replicate the success in 2021 and then pay him. And guess what? If you have to pay more, so be it. But at least you're getting not a sure thing, obviously, but as close to a sure thing as you are then maybe paying now and more hoping that he pans out than feeling confident, having that conviction that Josh Allen can replicate 2020 going forward. Because look, we have seen in just recent years quarterbacks play well for a year, elevate their play so high that they're one of the best quarterbacks in the league, get paid, and then fail to reach that level. Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, 2 quarterbacks we just listed before as guys who got paid after year number 3. Well, as we know, they weren't able to really kind of replicate the career year they had and be worth a contract. And now both are on separate teams. Both had to be traded, and now both the Rams and Eagles are eating a ton of cap space because they paid the guy that they thought was the guy, but proved that he could really not get the job done. Remember, Jared Goff, and both go 1-2 in the same 2016 draft class. Jared Goff in 2018, when he leads the Rams to the Super Bowl, throws for over 4,600 yards, 32 touchdowns. It seems like he is the guy, and the Rams have figured out they're going to be on the trajectory where, hey, it's going to be a Sean McVay, Jared Goff romance, if you will, for 10 years. That's when they gave him the big contract. Carson Wentz, the year before that in 2017, 33 touchdown passes in 13 games. He was on his way. He was going to win the MVP. Obviously, as we know, if he didn't tear his ACL. The Rams felt confident in Jared Goff that he can replicate the 2018 success. The Eagles felt confident that Carson Wentz could replicate the 2017 year he had, and that these two will be in their respective locations for a very long time. And again, as we know, it only took 2 years for when both of these guys got extended to now off the team. Off the team. Out. Somewhere else. So it's really not as simple as, hey, this guy plays great. He's going to be our guy going forward. So I'm not giving Josh Allen a massive payday until I'm 100% sure last year was not just a career year for Josh Allen. Last year wasn't a 2018 Jared Goff season or a 2017 Carson Wentz season where he looked great. We're thinking, hey, this is going to be the guy long term, but then he fails to live up to the expectations. Then he fails when defenses now make adjustments. The tape is out on Josh Allen, if you will, where they see what he does right, and he can't overcome that or he can't replicate that. Because last year, like we mentioned, was great. 4,544 passing yards, 37 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. He posted career highs in completion percentage, passing yards, touchdown passes, passer rating. It was a great year for the Bills, great year for Josh Allen. As we know, they go to the AFC title game. But even with that success, even with that tremendous year, I don't know about you, I still am not confident that 2021 will be similar or better than 2020. So I'd rather play it safe. I'd rather take a year, wait one more year, and I would rather overpay. If, let's say, I could get Carson Wentz, Carson. Let's say I can get, we'll try that again. Josh Allen, if I could sign him, let's say this year and maybe save, $60 million to what I could have paid last year, right? We kind of saw with Dak Prescott, with the longer the Cowboys kind of dragged their feet, the more money they ended up paying. But I'd rather, if I'm the Bills, if I'm Brandon Beane, if I'm Sean McDermott, I would rather overpay for Josh Allen in 2022, but know I can trust him for the next decade, that he can be the franchise quarterback. He can be the guy to lead us to a Super Bowl, rather than pay him now, more of hoping he can pan out than feeling confident that this is, again, not just a one-year wonder, that he can actually replicate this success going forward. And then potentially pick up the pieces in 2 to 3 years. If, let's say, 2020 truly was the career year for Josh Allen, he can't replicate that. Because even if he struggles in 2021 or can't reach the potential, maybe you still extend him, but not at the price that you would extend him right now. So even though, yes, quarterback salaries, obviously, as we know, continue to skyrocket, and even though, obviously, this year being in the anomaly, the salary cap is going to go up and up, and especially now the new TV money coming in, 2022, the salary cap will be higher, and it will continue to increase. It's still a big hit to your team if you pay a quarterback big money and he flops. Or even worse, if you pay a good quarterback, great quarterback money, where he just cannot live up to it. He's good. Kirk Cousins, okay, he'll play well. Maybe he'll get you to the playoffs here and there. Is he going to lead you to a Super Bowl? Is he going to be the difference? Is he going to be, a playmaker in the playoffs? No. Hard, to get your head around and feel great about paying a good quarterback, great quarterback money. So as you know, with the latest quarterback deal being Dak Prescott with the Cowboys, $160 million, averages annual value to $40 million a year with $126 of that guaranteed. $126 million guaranteed. Good for you, Dak Prescott. But that is the new bar to beat now for quarterbacks in the NFL. That is the new bar. That is the new threshold that teams now have to go above and beyond if they want to extend their quarterbacks. And for me, I think it's wise for Brandon Beane, for Sean McDermott, for the Buffalo Bills. Take it easy. Slow it down. Maybe talk with Josh Allen, but in terms of hammering out a contract, in terms of signing up for Josh Allen long term, I think it's wise for the Bills. Wait one more year. Make sure and see what you got in 2021 just to make sure that 2020, again, wasn't a flash in the pan, wasn't a product of everything going right. Because, again, we've seen plenty of quarterbacks play really well for 1 year. Again, Carson Wentz, Jared Goff, two of the latest examples of that. So it's not, outrageous where one quarterback plays out of his mind for a year, plays like one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, but can't sustain that success. Ensure success first, then to me pay the money. Because as we know, the quarterback position is the hardest position in sports to find. It is the most important position in sports to find. So in theory, every quarterback, even Patrick Mahomes, for the value they bring to the team, if they are worth it, is underpaid. So I'd still rather wait and ensure success, or ensure that I think Josh Allen could be a very top 5 good quarterback for the next 10 years. I'd rather overpay for that than kind of sign him more with hope, with potential that he can reach that level without truly knowing if he can actually get there. So I'm curious your thoughts. What do you think? Should the Bills extend Josh Allen? Should they sign him now, get him, I don't want to say in a cheaper deal, but as we know, the quarterback salaries only go up, and you always beat the next quarterback signed. So if they were signing him now and they beat the Ravens to Lamar Jackson, they beat the Browns to Baker Mayfield, you could save yourself some money now. So it's technically cheaper to sign Josh Allen now than is waiting. So would you extend Josh Allen? Have you seen enough to say, you know what, if you're the Bills, sign and give him that long-term deal, or should they wait? See how 2021 goes, and then you know what? If he truly is that good again, pay him whatever he wants, give him the blank check, because he truly is your guy for the next 10 years. Or should you, again, wait, play it safe to see, is he the guy going forward? So love to hear your thoughts. Again, Facebook, Worldwide Sports Radio Network, Twitter, WWSRN_radio, at Ryan Hickey Show on Twitter as well. What should the Bills do? Extend Josh Allen this offseason? Should they wait to 2022? See how 2021 goes, and then reevaluate from there. So get your thoughts. And when we come back, tanking in sports has been an issue now really for the last, we'll say, 10 or 15 years. Football isn't seen too much, but baseball, the NBA, the NHL, they have seen tanking in their sports. I have a solution for the tanking issue. I think I have an idea that will put a halt, or at least change the way teams view tanking. I think it actually could be a true benefit to fans and the league alike. I'll tell you what that solution is next. It's the Ryan Hickey Show right here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.